So, we're going to start this podcast.
In 3,
No.
2.
Something's missing.
Oh!
Something's missing. We
Yeah?
haven't done something yet.
Um,
Is there anything else we do before we start the podcast?
you sound like the person who's about to go bungee jumping, and at the last minute, when they're about to push them off, they're like, no. Have you checked all the cords?
I can't bungee jump.
Neither do I want to.
No, but I can't.
Why is there isn't?
Because it could detach my retina.
Okay.
And I've only got one good eye, so I can't see through one eye. And apparently...
Who advised you this?
You go bungee jumping, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is you detach your retina, the pull at the end from the tension. You get to the end and stretch, and people's eyes commonly pop out of their fucking heads.
Okay.
And it's more common with bungee jumping than anything else. So
Yes.
for people with not good vision or with one bad eye, they say, hey, don't bungee jump and don't get punched in the head. So,
Well, I don't think anyone should be punched in the head regardless.
No, but my doctor said, hey, look, if they're gonna... don't get in a fight, and if you do get in a fight, just tell the person you're in a fight with, hey, can you please punch this side? The doctor said that.
Perfect.
Looked me dead in the eye and told me.
And I reckon they would listen to you respectfully in a fight.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like reverse psychology. If you want them to punch you on one side of the face, like, am I better off telling them my weakness? You know what I mean? It's like 50-50. Like, if I'm in that situation, I'm going to be like, I'm still not sure to this day, like, whether to take a gamble with that, you know?
No,
like,
I think you're right. Tell them the opposite.
Hey, do me a favor, mate. Punch me, swing this side. Put one right here. If it depends how you sell it.
Yeah.
It depends how much they hate me. Depends how much they've got it in for me.
Are we good to start the pod now that we've discovered that?
It could be, what if it, some people are nuts, man.
Oh, everyone's nuts.
Some people have really ill intentions, though. Name someone with really ill intentions.
Coolio.
What's wrong with Coolio? Oh, I know what he's done. What did he do?
He died.
No.
He's dead, dude.
Just today.
That's a good way to start the pod. Let's do it. R.I.P. Coolio in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to On Our Phones, a podcast for two young people. My name's Jayden Shepherd. I was trying something new there. And across from me is my co-host, Ben Myers.
Breaking news. Coolio has passed at the age of 57, I believe.
No.
59.
Or maybe it's 57. Maybe I'm wrong.
R.I.P. to Coolio, the rapper. This has just happened this moment. Breaking news here on the On Our Phones podcast.
But by the time this episode is released...
No, this is going up next week.
No.
Yep. Next week, baby. Next week, baby.
I'm not sure.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
R.I.P. Coolio.
Exactly.
Hey, this is almost a bit of a R.I.P. anniversary episode because there's someone else we're going to pay our respects to.
The Queen.
Yes, not the band Queen, the lady, the Queen.
Yeah, Her Majesty.
That's right.
Queen Elizabeth II, who has...
Elizabeth Regina...
It's breaking news here on the On Our Phones podcast. She's just passed away. Jayden, tell me a little bit about the Queen and why we love her so much.
I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about our love, but it was a big loss. Hey, you can lose something without loving something. Is that true?
A manifestation that I have,
Yeah.
on this manifestation app or affirmation app that I have, is somebody can love you. Somebody can be mad at you but still love you.
Of course.
And that's how I feel about the Queen. I'm infuriated by some of the things her and her family have done.
That's such a good way to put
But
it.
as an individual, God, she was a sweet, sweet woman. However, the monarchy as a whole, what are you doing?
The firm, they call it, the business.
How is this fucking relevant? How is this not completely obsolete in the year 2022?
She was very relevant. Did you see all those Paddington bears?
So many bears.
So many sandwiches left on the ground. For a country that's suffering immense, financial struggles and hardships.
Yeah.
Leaving sandwiches on the ground for a dead person will not bring that person back.
I feel like one of two things has happened. Either they just had bread, a lot of people just had bread and like marmalade in the back of their fucking cupboard.
Yeah, ready for her to go.
That, or this is some sort of like, there's some sort of conspiracy where no one cares. No one actually gave a shit. And guards and people within the monarchies were sort of going around to houses going, hey, could you...
Please, we need to make it look like...
Yeah.
Throw
this on the street, but also we're going to tell you, please don't throw it on the street to make it look like we had nothing to do with it. That's what they were doing. They were saying, don't throw bread because it could be eaten by
Anyone else?
little boy George, the little prince. You know,
The little
What's his-
prince.
little boy George.
Yeah, Boy George.
Boy George. That's what I call him now. Yeah.
What do you call the other ones? Charlotte and Louis. What do they get called?
They're not important. All I know is he's
So true.
He's
So true, they're not important.
He's so cute. And he's been going around the schoolyard apparently.
Yes, this is so topical. This is even more topical.
Telling people, you better fucking watch yourself, buddy.
you better
because
piss the
my
fuck
dad
off.
is gonna be king.
And then after that, I'm gonna be king.
What do you do in that situation? What if you're the daddy? If you're daddy, what's his name?
William.
William.
Well, we really know our royals and we really know
Yeah,
our
yeah.
stuff. Well, I think that he's come out today and said that it's not true.
Okay, it's not true, but
If it was true, I don't know. You just tell them, hey, don't speak to people like that.
yeah, don't speak to people like that. But also, it is true. So it's like, also, what school is he going to? Private.
No, oh yeah, probably a private. Yeah, you would assume so.
But who's he going to school with?
Regular kids.
Regular kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't expect them to treat them regularly.
No.
Treat a prince regularly.
If I was him, I would start having some questions like, oh, why don't they like me? And why are we going to be kings?
Yeah. But then there's a there's a lot to unpack there.
The answer would be like, well, we wouldn't have any money if we weren't scrounging off anyone else. Look, I didn't want to get too into
It's
it, but
a
let's...
long history of colonialism and totalitarianism and power and control by force and
They do have-
slave trades, and it is just we have a long line of ancestors who have done some horrible things, and therefore you
But she
should be,
was
and
lovely.
therefore you have,
She was lovely,
and therefore
though.
you, Boy George, should be respected.
But she was lovely, though.
And tell
Your sister.
any of these bullies at school,
Yes.
you tell them, not only am I going to be king, my daddy's going to be king very soon, I'm going to be king in the future.
And my offspring.
Yeah, and I will not hesitate to make your life worse than that of the slaves that our family held captive for many, many years. I will take things back to whatever fucking century we began ruling in, and I will...
And he could say those comments, and it would still be Meghan's fault. It would
That's
still
good.
be. It would still be her fault.
That's good. What do you think of Meghan Markle?
Look, when I brought up the delightful Her Majesty, I didn't want to.
The Queen, yeah.
And the Queen. I didn't want to get.
Or, sorry, a less formal title, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor.
Yes,
Yeah.
so true.
Which I'm not allowed to refer to her as. Apparently it's illegal. It's like I can't say that. You know what I was going to say? A certain
Word?
character that can't be drawn in a certain religion.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Are you talking about Voldemort?
I'm talking about Charlie Hebdo. I'm talking about the Islamic faith.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I'm talking about.
Oh, I still. Even when you whispered it to me, I still have no clue. Yeah, I'm listening to the words that you're saying.
We'd be executed.
Oh, would we?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening to the words you're saying. They mean no context to me.
Okay.
But let's not look. We're meant to be a light show. We're meant to be looking at the news in somewhat of a light way. I don't want to drag us down. All I'll say is, here's the irony. The last time we recorded was a couple of weeks ago now,
Yeah.
when it was the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. On that show, we ran out of time, but I was going to bring up, can you imagine when the Queen dies, how much fucking news coverage there will be? And I didn't bring it up, we didn't have time. But in the end, it was way worse than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Because it went for too long.
It was just wall to wall. Now that the news coverage has stopped, I feel more admiration for her. But when it was all day, every day, and we were talking to Mary from Brisbane, who shook her hand once in 1964, I just didn't give a shit anymore.
The best reporting I heard all week was when the guard falls off the platform.
Yes.
He takes a big bump.
Yeah, he did.
No one moves.
Well, it's protocol not to move.
Protocol not to move, but
Yeah.
also, like, how's that?
He could have died there.
He could have died. He was old as well.
But
and he
at the
took
end
a
of the
fall to
day, he
face.
would have died for her, so that's more important.
The next one, I get an interview on maybe ITV the next morning going, so explain to, and I don't know who this guy is or what he's an expert in, whether he's a, more in the biological realm of things or whether he's more like, is just like a royal, has royal interest.
Oh,
and
there's a lot of royal reporters.
But she goes, so explain what exactly has happened to this guard here, because he's taken a bit of a nasty fall there. How long had he been standing there for, and what do we think is the cause for the tumble? And he's going, well, look, there's a few things that can happen when you're standing there for that long, a period of 14 hours or more. One thing that could happen is after not moving for that period of time, your legs could stiffen up, you lose control of your legs, they buckle from the knees and you fall forwards. The other thing is your blood pressure, your blood sugar, a lot of the blood falls down from the top of the head. You lose circulation up top, and you're faint, you pass out, and there's nothing more you can do about it from there.
And her reaction was, wow, thank you for that insight. Thank you for telling me what would happen if you did stand in the same spot for that long.
It's a long time to be standing on the same spot for that long.
Yeah.
Especially when you're old, and especially when you're bored. They're probably really bored, don't you reckon?
What do you reckon they're just thinking about in their head? Just they're going to be playing some mind game in their head?
In my head all day it would be, what's the one? Bum, 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 bum. What's the other one? I honestly don't know how God Save the Queen goes.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Could we have a guess?
Now God Save the King.
Yeah, I don't like that. Doesn't have the same flow to it. Or are we just so used to the other one?
Well, not us, because we couldn't recite it, but other people must be used to it.
We're so used to. No, but we're used to saying Her Majesty,
Yes.
and His Majesty
Doesn't
sounds odd, yeah.
Doesn't sound right.
His.
But yeah, isn't it funny that they could change it from Her Majesty to His Majesty overnight, and they all just accepted it?
She was so kind-spirited and lovely, and apparently he's already fucking...
When you say apparently.
Allegedly already flipping shit at pens.
Yeah, I know.
Did you hear about
yeah.
that? What was he signing? He was signing a document. And he's gone. It's like spilling for some reason.
Yeah.
Was he using a feather pen?
And the worst thing is he gave it to his wife, and it's like, well, now the ink is leaking on your hand, but you're happy to give it to her?
Oh, take this, you stupid bitch.
He pretty much, he was like, right here. And then poor Camilla,
even get a fucking...
I'm probably the only person in the world who has ever said poor Camilla, takes the pen and just kind of looks at it awkwardly.
Yeah. I'm 74 years old and I've still got ink on my wrist.
Well,
I'm the king. Imagine that being the king and someone handing you a pen that you put ink on your wrist.
And you freak out that much.
Dude, yeah. And also, like, his skin probably quite sensitive, don't you think?
Yes,
don't you
probably.
think? If you saw an old guy with, like, ink, like, blue and red ink down the arms, you'd think, oh my god, their veins are just fucking
you need to get
bulging out of their arms. You get them to a hospital. He doesn't look so rough though, does he? He looks like he could have it together for a few years.
Yeah.
He's out in public, he's shaking hands and stuff, I think.
Good for him.
People are giving him the salutes, and do they give him a curtsy?
I don't know.
Can I give him a curtsy?
Can we stop?
Can I give him the first curtsy?
I didn't know.
Is it a curtsy?
I think he's had plenty of curtsies so far.
Give me your curtsy, love. That's what he'll be saying.
In that
love,
accent?
Give me your curtsy. Gives a little bit of a curtsy for
This cannot be a
king.
Full Royals episode. I'm just making sure you know that,
How far
right?
in are we?
This is not going to be a full Royals episode. Just letting you know. It can't be. But let's wrap it up. R.I.P. Elizabeth?
And R.I.P. Coolio.
And Coolio. Sorry, do you want to speak a bit more about Coolio? Or are we done?
Did he have any connection to the royal family? Because if not, don't care.
He had a connection.
No, I shouldn't say that.
He had a connection to our former podcast.
He was on Big Brother.
He was twice.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
Let's get off then.
Yeah. That's the end.
That's it.
Thanks very much, everyone.
That's not the end.
Okay, continue.
That's not the end.
Continue. Do the song. Yeah. Go.
I thought we did an intro.
What are we doing?
We did an intro.
Welcome to... This is the start of the... That's the end of the Royal special.
That was the end of the Royal Extravaganza.
I could go
Here
all
we
day.
are.
I could go all day.
Have you basically? Yeah, no. We could go all day.
Continue.
Question: have you seen anything on your phone this week that piqued your interest?
Oh, we're doing this.
Well, this is the name of our podcast. After all, I feel like we need to deliver at minimum on the name of our podcast.
Shit, man. We
can't get bad reviews.
That's all phone stuff, isn't it? That's all phone stuff. That's all Royal stuff is all phone stuff.
It is, but it's also life stuff.
It's funny, like, how much you were talking about the Royals being celebrity culture.
Have you heard me say that before?
Yeah, we talked about it on the old podcast, and you ages back.
They are.
And you were saying it's nothing more than celebrity culture. It's nothing more than the British Kardashians.
It is,
Except the Kardashians probably do more public service and have a less shady history,
I think just as shady.
Just as shady. Okay. There you go.
In other areas.
Well, there was a sex tape, but I don't know if there were.
I don't think that's where I was going. I didn't think more shady. Anyway,
there's not so much racism within the Kardashian family.
No, it's quite the opposite. It's pro-race.
Very, a very diverse group of
Yes.
people, trans people.
I was more thinking some would say they only date black people. It's like
Yeah.
going into that area. But that's fine if you only, if you want to be selective. I'm open for anything.
Here's proof of the royals being, or the monarch,
Yeah.
being celebrity culture.
I love that we wrapped it up, but let's go back to it for one more.
This is the Sydney Morning Herald.
Yeah.
Their title is The Queen's Funeral, the Music, the Jewels,
Yeah.
the Uniforms. How is this different from the Met Gala?
But people eat them up.
This is the Met Gala.
You can see people in England in the streets, and they are crying, they are weeping.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did they do for you? Answer me. Like, none of them would be able to answer me, other than they were like a kind of icon, and she was always with us. She was a constant, which is true. But,
Was she with you?
No, she was
I'm
not.
going to put that as the poll in our Spotify this week.
Oh, you can do polls on Spotify.
With us, thanks to very much to Spotify and Anchor for hosting the podcast.
Anchor.
Even though the first week's been a bit rough.
It's okay.
Bit of a data delay, but that's fine. That happens.
It happens.
I'm going to make that the poll. What did she do for you? What did the Queen do for you?
Well, what would be the poll options? Otherwise, it just becomes a survey.
Something or nothing?
Oh, nothing. Yeah.
Or how much? I can ask a question and people can type it in.
True, that is as well. And also, if you want to message us on Instagram or Twitter, what did the Queen do for you?
And in 3 and 2, and we're back.
Ben, have you heard anything about the telecommunications company called Optus this week?
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, been a big week for Optus. They've been hacked
What do you think?
for $1 million. What do I think? Wait, does anyone have opinions on it?
No.
It's not the type of thing where it's like, when politicians debate, it's like, oh, what's your opinion?
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, crazy, they were hacked. They're not handing over money. They're leaking details.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that I still find it crazy that they asked for $1 million.
$1 million is, well, it makes sense.
Why?
They've got the info.
No, but why wouldn't they ask for $5 million?
Oh, I thought the same, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
are they getting the milli? Are they getting the 1.5 Aussie?
No.
Or? Oh.
No, that was pretty clear straight away. They're like, no, we weren't not engaged.
We don't negotiate with...
Hostages.
No, with not terrorists, but what's the word?
Perpetrators?
Not the word I'm looking for.
They're not going to negotiate.
No, the word is crypto
Criminals.
criminals. Thank you.
Yeah, true.
We made it up.
I think...
Hashtag crypto criminals, trying to make it a thing. Not gonna
whatever
become a
you do
thing.
with that.
3, 2.
Whatever you do.
Opening a Pepsi. 3, 2. Nailed it.
I'm extremely nervous for you, whatever you do with that.
I dropped it.
Better not. You won't make it out of here alive. Yeah, Optus has been hacked.
Optus has been hacked and they've got the information of so many Australians, about like 10 million Australians, and that's like half of us.
Including people that left the company years ago.
What?
It's not just current people.
Oh, shit. That
Yeah.
could be me then. That could be me.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, God, let me check. I didn't even think that.
Have you looked at your emails
I didn't even
recently?
think about that anyway.
No, but the problem is, for example, I saw someone on
Jesus.
Twitter yesterday get an email, and they're told, hey, even though you haven't been with us for many years, your information has been compromised. And this person was like,
Okay.
you emailed me like 9 days after this has happened.
I was going to say, it was a minute ago now.
Yeah,
But,
so-
it's now getting to the point where the FBI's involved.
We,
I was waiting.
we were joking about it at uni. We're like, surely this is some like 14-year-old kid who like hacked him.
Well be.
And now they're in over their head, knowing that they weren't going to get the money, but will probably face criminal charges.
Well, what do you think? One of the biggest telecommunications service providers in
Australia?
next to Telstra, probably.
Yeah.
Is has been hacked. This is a mega data breach. Is this their fault? Whose fault is this? Is that? Oh no. Holding Optus responsible
No,
is...
I was going to say the opposite.
Okay, no, but okay. Tell me.
I was going to say, I'm sure they would have had some hefty privacy, kind of systems in place. And if someone is, there's always going to be people that are very good at their job, e.g. hacking. So if they're like, we've got all these things in place, and they thought it was enough, but
Yeah.
it wasn't enough, maybe that was just a lesson that needed to be learned.
If you've done everything you can...
Maybe they can do more, but they didn't really look into it till now.
Yeah, but it's like if you've got a whole team employed and they're the best you could get and they're, on top of it and it's never happened before, and then someone eventually comes along and they go, an individual comes along and they're better, who knows their history, who knows how long they've been working on this.
Who knows how long they've been hacking?
Let's say...
Hacking sounds like such a word from the 90s. It's like, oh, I'm a hacker, and they just type in someone's password, you know? Oh, I've hacked them.
Yeah, so let's say... let's say the government here goes, which they are talking about, the Australian people shouldn't be paying, taxpayers shouldn't be paying, the government shouldn't be paying. So, who pays? Optus.
Pays
Optus.
for what?
They want Optus to pay for people's reimbursement of Medicare cards and new...
I think they've definitely
new
agreed to-
identifications, new passports, and new driver's licenses.
They've definitely agreed on the driver's license. No, hang on. No. The states have all agreed to waive fees.
Okay.
On the driver's license.
Is Optus the victim of an attack? Have they been attacked?
Wouldn't it be the customers of the victims?
Yeah.
Because this doesn't... You know what I mean? Like,
Optus is suffering.
they are, but isn't it the people who have their information leaked, not the company?
Someone goes, I'm going to attack. They don't go, I'm going to attack the customers. They go, I'm going to attack Optus.
Yeah, well then maybe they should have taken like money from their accounts instead of taking information.
Yeah. But
this will make losses.
the government wants to make Optus pay because they feel as though Optus is responsible.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
I don't know. Neil.
And is that victim blaming?
At the end of the day, I think the point that needs to be made is that, you know, a company like Vodafone only wishes they could have been hacked. They see the big boys at the playground like Telstra and Optus, and you've got Crazy Johns and Vodafone down there.
Crazy Johns aren't they out of business, surely?
They're what?
Crazy Johns, they're surely out of business.
Yeah, I couldn't think of another kind of lower echelon.
I used to have Crazy Johns. Come on in to Crazy Johns.
Who is another kind of lower telecommunications company?
Pete.
I've never heard of Pete.
Crazy Pete, his
Crazy
brother.
Pete. There used to be, do you remember Orange and 3? They were brought out by Vodafone.
3
And then they go,
magic
number. Yeah, those were good ads.
Somewhere in that ancient mystic trinity, you get 3. It's a magic number.
I don't know when it's
Past
like
and the
that.
present and the future.
I know what it
mind
is.
and the body and soul and making 3. It's a magic number. I'm waiting for you to join in, baby.
I don't know the song that well. Right now I just sat there looking at you like the school kids on School of Rock looked at Jack Black.
He was a king.
Jack Black, the music teacher.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the story of the time my friend met Jack Black on a
Fuck
plane?
yeah.
Met Jack Black on a plane.
Fuck yeah.
And he goes, he's my friend's dad, and they're from Norway. They're Norwegian.
Your friend's dad.
Yeah, my friend.
So your friend didn't actually meet him?
No. So, listen.
Yeah, I'll listen. You talk.
He told me this story a few years back, and he's an interesting guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's, got that bit of a broken English thing, but he's very fun to be around.
Okay, cool.
And he looks a lot like the Bond villain in Skyfall, that real scary guy.
Skyfall.
He looks a lot like that guy.
Oh, yes.
In Skyfall, James Bond. Yeah. He looks a lot like him.
Yep.
The guy with the palette, freaky. Like, same size. And I always thought he was that
Javier
guy.
Bardem?
Yeah, and I got to know him, right? And I always thought, he's scary, right? But then I got to know him.
He's fun.
And he's so fun.
Yeah.
He's like a Bond villain, but
fun.
actually a nice guy.
A Bond villain from Austin Powers.
And he goes, I was sitting next to Jack Black on a plane, and I didn't recognize him.
No.
And he goes, I sat down next to him and had the funnest conversation I've ever had with a guy.
I bet.
He goes, I just didn't put 2 and 2 together for some reason. And people around us were looking because we were like laughing and having so much fun.
But they wish they could have been with him.
Yeah. But he's the only one who probably doesn't know that this is Jack Black, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, they're talking, and he asks me what I do, and then I ask him what he does, and he goes, oh, I'm a music teacher. He goes, like, I'm a music teacher.
Oh, nice.
He goes, I don't know if that's, I think that's something he actually does on the side, like he teaches kids music. He goes, I teach kids like school music and stuff. Yeah. And he goes, that's funny. It's a bit like that teacher on that movie, School of Rock.
No way.
He legit says that to him, and he's like, in retrospect, he's like, I didn't realize what was going on until I got off the plane, and people like stood up, and there was 2 body, like, I don't know, there might have been a bodyguard behind him, and he walked off. He's like, it was only afterwards I realized, and he's like, oh my god,
That's
this guy must
him.
have thought I was a nut. Like,
Yeah, probably.
dude.
No, but he would have been loving
He
that.
would
The
have been
fact
not being recognized, but also like, how do you not like know him but not know him? Like,
Yeah, you remember School of Rock.
huh? Yeah.
And this guy is, he's a pretty, unique looking guy.
Great film, one of my favorites. You look a bit like him. You look a bit like the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be saying that to him.
I thought you were pointing to me.
You don't
Yeah.
look like Jack Black.
Yeah.
You could grow out your hair, bit more of a beard, and what else? No, you would not look like Jack Black.
Fair enough. Do you know the guy that wrote School of Rock recently just won 2 Emmys?
I thought you were going to say died, but...
No, we can't have more people dying.
No,
I don't want...
That's great.
Mike White, his name is. Mike White, he recently won 2 Emmys and he did not die.
Brother of Jack White.
No, that'd be cool though. They're very separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Emmys.
Third, the lesser known of the...
White Stripes.
The White Stripes, the White trio they would be. Meg, Jack, and...
Mike. And then the John Butler trio would be down the drain.
My friend Matt was a snow instructor, and he was taking John Butler's kid.
How are we having so? This is just
for snow instructing, right?
How many people are you going to meet? How many people do you know that met people?
How do you know he was John Butler's kid? And then he goes, because like at the end he came up and picked his kid up from ski instructing.
Yeah. But
and I said, what? And I'm like, how
we've just gone from someone who is worldwide star Jack Black to, no offense, John Butler without his trio. And, maybe if I heard one of his songs, maybe. But how did you recognize him?
Well, I was like, I was like, how did you fucking recognize? How would you even recognize
of all
him?
people?
And I was like, well, was his kid's fucking name John Butler Jr. Like John Butler Jr. And he rocks up going, how are we? How are we, class?
John Senior.
John Butler at your service.
Sorry, the trio's not here. It's just John Butler today.
Yes, John Butler. John Butler from my brother says. That's not my brother. Oh, that's my brother's line. I won't take that. John Butler and the Johnny Butlers.
Oh, nice.
That's what they should be called.
Yeah.
The Johnny.
But there'll be 2 side ones, and that'd be the Johnny Butlers.
I saw just him at Play Music.
Well, that's a bit different though. If you're going to see, I can't say I've seen Kylie Minogue because I saw her at a concert.
That's true.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you go to a event and this guest is already going to be there, but if it's in random, it's like, oh, I saw them. That's more fun. Like Jack Black.
Very fun.
Very fun, very outrageous, very us. Hey, did we have a fun time recording this?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
We paid our condolences and we talked about some celebs. That's all I can ask for. Who's going to die next week? I want to know.
Wow. All right, name your top pick for... We'll put that as the poll for the episode. Who will die in the next week? Your top pick.
Is it too outrageous to say Joe Biden?
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Because,
I don't know about this week, but...
Yeah. Yours?
Is it too outrageous to say Meghan Markle?
That would be so outrageous. Because people, what people would say? Her dying takes attention away from the Queen.
Yeah, but no.
How dare she take that attention away from the Queen?
No, but she's also going through... she dies in a taxi going through a tunnel. Imagine that.
I don't even want to put that out there because Harry would be distraught.
Well, everyone would be. We'd go, who are these people? We'd go, how deep does this run? How powerful are they? How powerful is this family, When
I see Harry talk about his mum, it's like he must know that they drove her to the ground.
Yeah. And how do you think he feels about that?
Pretty fucking shit.
And do you think that's part of the reason why he's not so, why he's happy being awake, getting a breather from him?
I think so. Can you imagine?
Would you, if you were him, and let's say, hypothetically, allegedly, let's say the rest of your family were part of a plot and they killed your mother. And how would you feel about that? Would you want to get away?
Well, maybe I would stomach it for a while because they were there to support me. But let's say also they were there for a plot to drive the love of your life away. On top of that, then you'd go, okay, once was enough. Twice is too many.
Within a 5-year time period.
Yes, really fitting it in there. A lot of trauma in a short amount of time.
Would you move to America and get yourself a Netflix show?
No, I would move to Canada while getting myself a Netflix show.
You know who else moved to Canada?
Harry.
Thomas Markle.
To be with his big sister. Or a little sister, I'm not sure.
He's so sorry.
Yeah.
Imagine if... Oh, fuck, dude. If Meghan Markle got hit next week, if she got taken out of the picture, she died, would we suspect it was the royal family, or would we suspect it's Thomas Markle?
Still the royals.
Thomas Markle.
Still the royals. But Thomas Markle would be there selling the story.
I gotta go with Thomas Markle.
Well, we'll get back to you all next week. We'll see what happens, and if Meghan has passed away, we will get to the bottom of it in a long-form investigation on if it was the royal family or if it was Thomas Markle.
I don't hope...
Do you know?
I do not hope anyone dies, for the record.
No, me neither.
I just hope Meghan Markle infiltrates that family and corrupts it from the inside.
Eats
it away from the inside.
You know what? I don't think she's going to be able to do that.
I think she's smart enough.
I think she's smart enough to go, I'm going to go back to home, whether it's America or Canada, and leave this family alone.
Hey, dude, Harry's the dumb one.
Why's that?
Apparently he's borderline... Another word I can't say.
Does that disappoint you that you can't say certain words? We're going to wrap this up. We're wrapping it up. We've had a fun time.
Yep.
But then again, if someone says they've had a fun time, have they really had a fun time?
Coming up next week on the show, we're going to be talking about the backlash, aftermath
Yep.
of the passing of Queen Elizabeth II.
There's backlash.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep you up there then. Find us on all the socials, on our phones.
Yeah.
Review and rate. 5 stars only.
Yeah.
I know last time I think we said 4 stars is acceptable, but not anymore.
Not anymore. We need 5.
And that's that.
Thanks.
You okay?
It's a really bad ending.